And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today this week for our Halloween October themed Who Would Win, we have from James Reamer, who would win or what would win in a fight? The Thing from John Carpenter's The Thing, or The Thing novel, short story. Basically, The Thing, not from the original 50 version. That is actually a very different being. Versus the Necromorphs from Dead Space. So this is really more of a, what's the best way to put this? This is really more of this is a biological war. It's biological warfare because basically what these both are infections. They are almost somewhat sentient infections. The Thing is described as a, best way I've heard it described as, is a, and I'm going by like one of the fandoms for this description. What is it? What is the name of it? What is the term they used here? A plastic cell colony. Now, apparently in the original story, it actually does have a real form, and I'm glad they didn't do that with the John Carpenter thing, because that's just dumb. But the Thing, as far as we know, whether or not it has a true form, we may never know, and that's probably the fun of it. But it is a seemingly sentient, to some degree, infection that spreads, assimilates, and survives. That's its primary goal. Now, it's just, all it really needs to do is have contact with you in order to assimilate you. And basically, through assimilation, you die, it takes over, and takes upon your appearance. Sucks, scary, but that's the way it works. The Thing is immensely tough to kill because you can't kill it with blunt force weaponry. You can't kill it with blades because every bit of the creature is a living part of the creature. The blood itself is still a living part of the creature. So if there's any part of that that's still around, it will regenerate, it will assimilate, it will grow back. It is not immune, though, to things like high-intensity heat, fire, electricity, being just blown up. It's highly resistant to cold, but high levels of cold can stop it. And its intelligence apparently does seem to vary with the size of the organism it takes, because, well, for instance, its blood is only that. Its blood. Its instincts are at the most base level. It doesn't have a brain or nervous system or anything like that. But when it takes the form of larger organisms, it does have room for actual levels of intelligence. The Thing also has more than likely assimilated hundreds, thousands, maybe millions of species prior, so has knowledge to build a working spacecraft out of helicopter parts. Whether or not that would have actually gotten them into space, who knows? It seems it will be able to assimilate you simply by physical contact. If you had one drop of blood that is actually the Thing touch your skin, that would in theory be enough for it to start assimilating. Now, it might take a little while for it to do it, but just because it's that little, it's hardly a lot of the Thing to assimilating you, but it's still enough to assimilate you. That being said, it doesn't seem to go for deceased individuals. Seems to primarily go for living individuals. More than likely, and one of the theories is that it needs the flow of blood in our bodies helps with that. Plus, assimilating a corpse is risky because if people know that person's dead and it shows up as that person, they'll know, hey, you're dead. We just saw you cut your own throat. How are you still here? I didn't. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. So that might be partly for strategy, for survival. It might just be a biological function. It can't assimilate the dead. Now, that being said, it's also, has multitude of abilities from any of the species it's taken. It has very impressive strength. Again, high damage resistance. Intelligence, depending on the degree of the size of the organism that it takes. Size of the form the organism takes, I guess is the better way to put that sentence. Trying to think of anything else here. It can mix and match into grotesque forms, so there's that. Now, the Necromorphs from the game Dead Space are the main antagonists of the Dead Space franchise. They are mutated and reanimated corpses, reshaped into horrific new forms by a recombinant extraterrestrial infection. The resulting creatures are extremely aggressive and will attack any uninfected organisms on sight. Sole purpose is to acquire more bodies and convert and spread the infection. So they are controlled via the markers by a group of entities known as the Brethren Moons, which are massive necromorphs created once every living organism on an ecosystem unlucky enough to come in contact with a marker was killed and affected. Essentially, they are planets turned into necromorphs. Yeesh. Here's the big thing here. This is the key part here that we need to really talk about, because this is really going to be a battle of can one infect the other. And if they can't, then who wins in just a straight out, brawl. So the generation of necromorphs begin with markers, or it says generation. That's weird. It should say gestation. But anyway, begin with markers. These structures rebroadcast a highly concentrated electromagnetic signal that alters any dead tissue in a range on a cellular level, converting it into necromorph tissue and reanimating the corpse of the host organism. The signal also affects the minds of intelligent life forms, usually manifesting in dementia and resulting in homicidal and suicidal actions, laying out a rich field of fodder for necromorph infection. The infection also spreads directly through the necromorph pathogen. That is, the reanimated cells created by the markers, which compose the necromorphs. Typically, the infection is passed on to a new host via specialized necromorphs, such as infectors or swarms. In other words, for the necromorph pathogen to infect the host body, the host must be first killed for reasons unknown. Living beings who come in contact with the microbes do not undergo transformation, although symptoms of paralysis, catatonia, and impaired breathing can occur. While these symptoms do not necessarily ensure the death of the host, they can make it easier for nearby necromorphs to catch and kill the victims. Living victims that ingest necromorph tissue in quantity undergo a slow transformation, eventually dying and becoming feeders. Infections via necromorph swarms, witnessed during said creature's death, show that the host immediately turns into a necromorph. As the screen immediately fades, the host's new form can't be asserted, but is speculated to be a fodder. Swarm-infected hosts retain their appearance prior to being hijacked. Once the host is dead, they're basically dead. After that, it's all about the host being dead. So really, what this means is that, with the exception of the pathogen part of it, that is, the reanimated cells created by the markers, which compose necromorphs, typically, again, it's passed through onto new host bodies via specialized necromorphs such as vectors and swarms. In order for the necromorph pathogen to affect the host must be first killed. So that's the thing. That right there is the defining difference between these two individuals. While it's not 100% confirmed that the thing can't infect dead individuals, it just doesn't make any sense strategically. It is confirmed that the necromorph pathogen does not turn you into a necromorph if you were alive. Now, that being said, you will get sick and you might die, and therefore then you will become a necromorph. But they need dead hosts in order to become necromorphs. So it is actually a catch-22, because the necromorphs, for all of that, behavior and ecology. Hold on one second. Highly aggressive, will attack any non-necromorph being on site regardless of species or age. Sole purpose of behavior is to kill new hosts and spread the infection as quickly as possible. Despite being viewed as minus killing infections, they do display some tactical planning and cooperative behavior, most commonly hunting in small packs. They share a collective intelligence, allowing them to act in a coordinating manner during an outbreak. This shared consciousness was formerly believed to originate from the powerful necromorphs such as the Hive Mind or Nexus, known as necromorphs that controlled Battle of Moons, are not currently engaged. There's many different species of necromorphs. I guess you could say species. It's more that there's different, clades, I guess is a better way, just because there's no actual species in necromorph. It's one species, different forms, all one guys in different forms, if you will. Kind of like the thing can have many forms, but it's all one entity. So this actually is a case where the thing can't necessarily infect a necromorph, because even though the necromorphs are reanimated corpses, they're still technically dead. So the thing can't. I mean, again, we don't have it confirmed for 100% certain that the thing can't infect a corpse. It just, from everything we've seen, it doesn't look like it in these living hosts. So the thing can't infect the necromorphs. But likewise, the necromorphs don't really have any abilities that could. Yeah, give me a second here. Can I find any sort of a list of those? Because one other thing that can actually really hurt the thing and possibly kill it is like molecular acid in a lot of it, which is why the thing trying to infect maybe like a xenomorph is a bad idea. Okay, let's see. Infectors. So infectors are one of them. I want to. Okay, you is a unique necromorph. I need a list of the types of necromorphs. One sec, because if there's any necromorphs that can spew acid, and a lot of acid, then right there you have this very strong advantage on the necromorph side of things. Okay, here we go. Categories for necromorphs. So let's see. We have the necromorphs: Brethren Moon, Slasher, Infector, Lurker, the Hunter, Feeder. I saw one called the Puker. Yeah, Puker. Okay, let me see Puker. That sounds like one that might actually be more up the alley, something that can actually work. The Puker's digestive acids drastically alter their appearance, melting and merging their flesh. The host. I hate when things just move. Okay, that's description. Can I have abilities? Variants. Okay. It's recommended to engage Puker from a distance. No, duh. Pukers do not display any particular weak spots. They can be exploited. Okay, great. Do these guys spit acid like it? I'm like the vibe I'm getting here. Its fingers emerge. Blah blah blah. The Puker is quite fast in physical appearance, able to charge at players and unleash the Puker. It's 4 forms of attack. First shoots a ball of corrosive bile. Okay, it's corrosive bile, so acid. To some degree, over a long distance, which burns victims and corrodes rusts armor. So for this bile to be able to go through armor, even if the armor is like, I don't play Dead Space, so I don't know what the armor is actually made of. But if it's armor, it's designed to take a beating. If it's metal, they say rust, so it must be metal. That means this is able to go through metal. That means this is probably near the level of a xenomorph acidic blood, which is what they call it? Let's say not biomechanical, biomolecular acid. So the Puker might actually be a pretty solid threat to the thing. The Puker's second attack is a projectile stream of bile towards the prey at medium closer. There is a melee attack. And the fourth is a grapple attack, which Puker grabs the player by the head and grabs for vomiting on their neck and mouth in order to remove their helmet. The Puker also sports a unique defense mechanism, which is severed appendages spurt corrosive fluid upon dismemberment. So yes, corrosive acid would actually qualify as one of the thing's weaknesses, because anything that can break it down at its cellular level is one of the big issues for it. That's why fire works so well. That's why explosion, because the massive heat and impact of the blast works so well. Cold, again, slowing down the cellular process, basically putting it like a cryostasis. So the thing about this is, against probably just about any of the other ones, it's not that none of these guys. I mean, I'd have to go through every single one of these to be fair. Disrupts the attack. Yeah, I mean, technical arms. The problem here I'm going through all these as I'm talking, with a lot of these particular ones, and I'm looking for anything else that comes off like similar to the Puker, like something that would use acid or even like fire if possible. The problem here is that most of the necromorphs have like infectious abilities or just melee abilities. They don't have abilities that are really going to, because think of the thing as a super infection. Because I doubt if it absorbs someone with cancer, I don't know if it would gain the cancer. It probably would just force out the cancer and be done, because it doesn't need that. It can alter its physical chemistry all at once. We don't know what happens when the thing absorbs or assimilates someone with disease. So because there's another movie I can't remember, not Forbidden Planet. These guys on a planet make an organism. It goes wild, and it keeps eating and it's eating and killing people. And like one of the guys who made it actually has liver cancer, and what they end up doing, and he sacrifices himself, is they rip out his liver, cancer's liver. The thing eats it and then dies immediately. So I don't know if the thing were to absorb someone that has like a life-threatening illness, particularly like a cancer or something, if that would affect it. So yeah, the research to make poisonous air, I doubt that would actually bother the thing. From what we can tell, the thing just can be like, okay, whatever, I'll ignore that. I don't need to actually breathe. So yeah, let's see, we have Snow Beast here too. One second, the Snow Beast. Maybe this actually has something to do with ice. Hold on. Come on, there we go. Well, I don't think so, but it's pretty cool. I'll give it that. Despite its large size, Snow Beast is likely either made up of multiple humans' corpses or is a necromorph version of a creature indigenous to the planet Tau Volatus. The beast is very resilient, powerful. Yeah, okay, it doesn't really seem to have any actual ice abilities. It's just named the Snow Beast. Either way, so yeah, the Puker seems to be the only one I can find at this moment that would actually give the thing again, not including the freaking planet, because they can't the moon size ones. And that's only because the Brethren Moons. Yeah, that's only because, again, dead tissue. As far as we know, the thing can't assimilate dead tissue. So the thing would probably struggle physically against some of the larger ones, definitely. It all depends on what form the thing has taken. So if it's got a couple people under its belt, the thing will obviously have the ability to grow in larger mass, larger size. So at that point, it's pretty much going to be cleaving through the majority of these things. But then when it hits the puker will be able to hurt it with a highly acidic bile. Vomit, bile, take your pick on the word. Bile. And the reason for that is if it can melt through armor, that means it's on the level of molecular acid, similar to what we see with the Xenomorphs, which was melting through three levels of the ship's hull. That's pretty much solid metal right there. So that would pose a serious problem. But the thing is more than likely smarter with the larger sizes because it has room for that level of brain capacity. So it actually would probably be able to strategize, keep its distance after the first couple of attempts of being dissolved, because it wouldn't be taken out on the first hit. Probably not the second or third. It would take a couple hits to be able to actually melt the thing down and kill it. And unfortunately, most of the Necromorphs don't really have a vast amount of intelligence. They have more of a collective mindset. So with the thing would be able to strategize, keep its distance, and I think ultimately take down the Puker. The problem here is actually that because the thing can't assimilate a Necromorph, as far as I can tell, once the Brethren Moons get involved, there is absolutely nothing the thing can do about that. They are literally moons that are sentient, demonic infection monsters. Like they are literally planet-sized beings that are capable of, just obliterating everyone. Like the thing would have to literally assimilate everything on the planet, become a collective creature, combine everything into one giant collective creature, and that's assuming that all the life forms in whatever area the thing wherever the thing is, equal the mass, power, and strength of a planet. The amount of what-ifs within that scenario are too much. Let's just hypothetically say this starts taking place on Earth. Assuming the Necromorphs have not wiped out most of all life on Earth, which is entirely possible they would. But let's hypothetically use Earth as a prime example here. If the thing were to assimilate every single life form with any level of sentience whatsoever, self-awareness, whatnot, so all of humanity, all of the other animals, blue whales to insects, would that theoretically be enough to take on something the size of a moon? No, it wouldn't. Because think about it. Think how big the planet Earth is, actually, for a second. Now think about all the life that is on here, that is on the planet Earth. All the life that exists. When we gaze upon the Earth from space, and all that, from satellite images, do we see any living organisms at all? Like, at all? No, because in terms of the actual size of the planet, even the largest creature is minuscule comparatively. Even if you did a collective amount of force, I doubt we'd even equal the mass of the moon. So, and as far as we can tell, these things, the Brethren Moons, let me see if I can get a better picture, find a better picture. That's a pretty solid. It looks, it's the way I depict it is, think of a like a kind of like a jellyfish squid hybrid, but the head of it, the jellyfish part of it, like the dome of it, the bell, is a moon. Which makes you wonder, if you stood on the other top of it, would it notice you and try to kill you? I don't know. But I mean, as far as we can tell, these things are pretty effing big. Like they seem to be bigger than our own moon. So they might be like this. They might be the side. Moon crash on. Oh, there's a. Wait a minute. What? Moon crash on. I'm sorry. I'm looking at one picture right now, talking about moon crash on surface. Are they talking about our moon crashing on the surface of one of these things? I can't speak to that, unfortunately. Hold on. There's another picture here that involves the sun. Maybe this is a lot of the Brother Moons as shown as Isaac. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. Oh, here we go. Perfect. There we go. There's a size comparison right here. So yes, actually, as far as I can tell, they're not as big as the planet Earth, but they do appear to be bigger than our actual moon. In fact, let me see if I can find. I'm obviously don't have this up in front. I'm doing this in the background of the search. Was moon compared to Earth? I want to see moon size compared to Earth, because if I can get a generalized, okay, again, perfect. I got a picture right here. I mean, you can't see it obviously, but I got a picture right here of the moon compared to the Earth. And they don't seem that much bigger than our moon, but they do seem larger. And that's not including their tentacles. I mean, that's including the tentacles. That's not factoring the length or anything like that. It doesn't work that way. So even if the thing, again, hypothetically, this is all real hypotheticals, was to assimilate every creature on this planet, use it to combat these things, it's essentially fighting something the size of the moon that can fight back, that it can't assimilate. And ultimately that means that they more than likely tear the thing out, throw it into space, in the vacuum of space where it can't do much, and then if there's any level of intelligence to the Necromorph, toss it right at the damn sun, incinerating the thing. So while the thing could probably take out every other Necromorph around, all the fodder, it can't hold up to the actual Brethren Moons, who are literally planetary in size. There we go. There we go. Sorry, something. Video started in the background, but I stopped it. Yeah, it can't compete on that level. It would have to absorb so many beings just to compete in size, and then it would have to, in theory, be able to tear the moon apart with sheer power. And I just don't think the thing can do that. There's nothing that I can say. I wonder. Let me get a quick statistic up here. Weight of all living creatures. All living things on Earth. There you go. Scientists definitely do, and a new study proceeds there. Okay. So the combined if you're counting even all the plant life, that's 550 gigatons of living creatures. Now, what does the moon weigh? Because this is the perfect way to really give you a difference in size. Moon's weight. The moon's weight is the moon's mass. I don't need the moon's mass. What does the moon weigh in tons? There you go. Weight equal mass, but the gravity is 0 tons. Okay, so it's a simple question. Don't give me the damn math behind it. Or what gravity equals math. Just give me the actual. Don't you hate when that? Don't you hate when you just ask a simple question and no one will give you a flat answer on it? I don't need density and gravity, damn it. Okay, how big is the moon? How big is the moon? Because again, they were very similar to the moon itself. Again, I don't need density and gravity. I'd like just weight, please. God. Let's see here. So it's okay. It's 1.2% of the Earth's mass. So let's see here. They give me the whole moon's mass 7.35 times 10 to the 22nd kilograms. Kilogram. I don't need that. Just tell me tons, megatons, estimated. Give me that. Why are you gonna give me the freaking runaround on this? So here's the thing. Maybe okay. The moon is a bit more than 1/4 the size of Earth, but with a much smaller radius than any of the other planets. I'm not going to bother doing it because I hate when things do. I hate when I feel like you're going to try to ask a question. Hey, can you do this? Well, I can do you the math. It's like, no, just give me an answer. Just give me, even if it's at ballpark estimate. Point being, it doesn't. No, it's not. I don't think the thing could stand up ultimately to the Necromorphs simply on the grounds that it could go through all the Necromorphs hordes, but once you get to the Brethren moons, the thing wouldn't be able to assimilate enough beings to match the power and size of the Brethren moons. And that's the problem. And there's more than one of them. That's the real kicker. That's the nail in the coffin there. Even if in theory the thing could take on one of them, there are multiple of them. So no, and again, it can't assimilate them to the best of my knowledge and research on this. So yeah, my money, surprisingly, I love the thing. I never played them space games, but my money goes on the Necromorphs, weirdly enough. What do you think? You think it's the Necromorphs? Or you think it's the thing? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Why I'm speaking like a cool jazz radio DJ, I don't know. But you cats are here to swing with the magic hour tonight. Put your comments in below. Now, tomorrow, this will be up today. So, I get to do something today / tomorrow that I didn't think I'd be able to do for God knows how long. That I haven't done in 6-7 months. I thought it was a thing has long been since forgotten. I'm going to the movies tomorrow. Yeah. I live in Massachusetts. They finally gave the okay for theaters to open back up, and I can't be more tickled pink. And I had to double check the Cinemark because I have a Cinemark. At first I'm like, oh, War Grandpa. Well, I wish I could be seeing something better, but it's first movie in God knows how long. I'll take it. Then I double checked earlier today before I went to work, and then I got home. Oh no, they brought Tenet and they brought New Mutants. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, you better believe this weekend Tenet and New Mutants. What order I see them in? Don't know. Probably gonna be New Mutants first if I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, tomorrow I'm seeing New Mutants, and you'll be getting a review for the first time in God knows how long. So I am just over the moon right now. I know, don't I seem it? I'm just so overly excited. I can't contain myself. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you folks later today, technically, because I'm pre-recording this. Have a good one.